Early in 2011, unions and their supporters took over the state capitol in Madison, Wisconsin to protest Governor Scott Walker and his reforms to collective bargaining that will save school districts hundreds of millions of dollars.
We will not surrender, and we won't back down.
Friday, August 26, 2011, a similar scene took place at Mesmer College Prep Catholic School in Milwaukee.
And I was there at about 7:45, and people were already lined up. There were about 30, and as you know, the news people were trying to do interviews, you would hear, vulgarity. There were people on the second floor of some of the apartments yelling things down.
Unions and their supporters came to the school to protest Governor Scott Walker. The governor was scheduled to read to the elementary school students.
All he was doing was reading to the kids. And the fact that these people did not want him here and that we would not go along with it turned into something that I haven't seen since the 60s. The police were here, the Capitol Police, the state police, plus the Milwaukee police. And it's a good thing they all were here, because this crowd that started at about 6 to 8 at 7:45 grew to over 200 people. And they were from different unions, they were different activist groups.
But the trouble really started at the school around midnight.
We got a call from maintenance at midnight that alarms are going off at the school building. And then our building supervisor went in and found that there were 9 locks that had been super glued and then wood glued with a piece of wood stuck in so that you couldn't get into the school at any entrance.
There's no proof who's responsible, but the day before the protest, 2 women visited the school.
One lady who was going around in the morning, stopping parents as they were dropping their students off, telling them that they should either leave the students at home the next day or they should join in this march that they were going to have. And then she also said, bring noisemakers and prepare for a riot.
The second woman
blamed the governor for people not having jobs and said that he should not be in our neighborhood or in our school. And then the next morning, there were cars with Illinois license plates as well as Wisconsin. Some really disgraceful comments of what they were calling the governor. People had these sheets that they had made signs out of. So this thing started early.
Brother Bob never expected to see the takeover of the Capitol happen at a Mesmer school.
I thought to myself, this is like the '68 riots. This is exactly the kind of craziness that people do.
There were moments when the protests became dangerous.
There was an elderly man, probably 65 years old, who said, well, that's a nice suit you got on. And I said, thank you. And he said, well, you won't be thanking me when I mop up the sidewalk with it. There were women using the F word very liberally. There were people bashing Catholic priests, the Catholic Church, people who, 3 guys in particular said, we know who you are, we know where you live, and you'll see us again.
Brother Bob has been with Mesmer schools more than 26 years. He said their system of schools are very successful.
We generally are anywhere from 93 to 97% daily attendance. And compared to some of the public schools who are at 40 or 50%, that's a phenomenal thing. There are kids in our system that have not missed a day of school since kindergarten. And our graduation rate is extremely high. It's 96 to 97%. So the kids that come here and stay here will graduate, and then between 85 and 90% of our graduates go on to colleges and universities around the country. This past year's class raised over $4.2 million in scholarships and grants. And so, the thing is, most of our kids are low income, And to go to college or university or tech school, they're going to need financial aid.
This is the most obnoxious, ridiculous action I have seen.
Brother Bob said the Madison-style protest disrupted the education of students at the college prep school. To him, those people were stealing from the children.
You don't have the right to take 1 minute away from one of those 460 kids. And how are they going to get those minutes back? You took them for no reason. And at the end of it all, you're going to walk away and then go on to the next rally.
The protest did not stop the governor from reading to Mesmer students.
You have brains in your head. You have feet in your shoes. You can steer yourself any direction you choose.
The kids were just captivated. They knew that this was something special, something good. They were hugging the governor. He took pictures with the whole class and with Dr. Seuss hat, and then he put on a Mesmer hat. The kids were great.
But the madness continued even after the governor left. Police say Brother Bob's safety was at risk.
They said, well, they are in the process of arresting some people because they had some undercover police in the crowd, and they were saying that they were going to wait until you drove out of the parking lot, smash your car, and pull you out of it. So they want to make sure that everybody's gone so that you can get out of here safely.
During the protest, it was difficult to explain to Mesmer students what was going on.
And one little boy said, Brother Bob, what are all these crazy people doing at our school? And I had to bite my tongue to stop from laughing. And I said, you know, I'm wondering the same thing. They should be either at work, home, or school. But why they're here and why they brought kids here, I don't know.
Brother Bob felt compassion for the young people who were taking part in the protest.
It was almost sad because you could see it in their faces that why was I brought to something like this to bother somebody I don't even know, and at the end of the day, to accomplish what?
In Wisconsin, Teresa Rashid, EAG TV.